over top of them, and you win. You're looking good in that situation. Illusion start things off on the attacking side here on Icebox. It is their map pick, so QOR got the decision of going to the defense, and they chose it as well. Relatively mirrored composition for both squads, not fully, as you can see. Notable switch-ups, you can see the KO being brought, which I'm a little surprised about, but it's not the complete end of the world to see Cavern on that without anybody else in the KO.
Yeah, Cavern and Critical are both initiator players, and basically every map they play for QR Red, they run double initiator. So not surprised to see them both on initiator. What is kind of surprising that QR Red doesn't have a duelist at all. However, KO kind of acts as a pseudo duelist, and the way people play Chamber as well also kind of feels like a pseudo duelist. So having two pseudo duelists on the team pretty much makes up for it. You still have an opera option with the Chamber as well, so losing a Jet isn't that bad of a deal. Speaking of Jets, though, it's Alvarez priming up that dash, being the entry for the team, getting ready to dash out if needed. And they didn't have time. Got shot from the side by Starly as the rest of the team floods in.
No!
The Illusion getting the best of it overall.
Boone just holds W, and I don't think Town can get around that. No, we can't. In goes a shock dart. That should do a decent bit of damage, but will not find the kill. The initiation for Illusion looks good early, but is turned back. Town does get that refrag as Dens falls. It will be a setup retake here for Core, but they need more out of it. They need an opening pick to be able to build off of because they have yet to clear out these close angles, and the crossfires, as we brought up just yesterday, are very important to clear as soon as humanly possible. Foon with the right click into the left click swing, and it's just over in that same situation. Critical on 1 HP. Wait, maybe not out of this one just yet. Trippy has the Sheriff. It's one shot for both of them, but Trippy will get the frag as they back away. Critical on 1 HP. Almost had it, but Illusion win the pistol.
The Sheriff's is just so strong on pistol rounds, man. Just one shot to the body was all it took there from anything, because Critical is so crazy low HP, but still has the confidence for Trippy just to fall back and knows you have time to work with there. Now buying up to a Bulldog, even investing into a Vandal is Alvarez. Very ambitious buy-ups from Illusion that will not allow them to easily fill the gaps if they lose members on this round, but they'll still be able to have Vandal and Bulldog likely going into the following round, which would help them contest with the full buy-up from Illusion. Churro get a nice opening frag onto Manish, which was even with one of the big buy-up weapons there for Churro.
Oh my goodness, how is Foon alive? They still are. What is that? Town dropped, as is Cavern. That's a little less of a surprising pick. Churro taking that aggressive gunfight. Just gonna win it relatively easily. This is a round that looks relatively concrete for Illusion, but as soon as I say it, I casters curse it. The spike down, good positioning now for Core as they swing around. The Owl Drone will gain a little bit of information, but Critical avoids it. Has the Frenzy out. Unfortunately, their teammate did not. Trippy hits the swing, and the spray. Illusion win the conversion.
Yeah, I like seeing Illusion fall back there because the guns were dropped from Foon. And Churro just had a Sheriff, but Foon having this Spectre. There's confirmation of where two members of QR Red are. There's gun drop there that would be good upgrade to be obtained. So Illusion goes back, covers that base, and gets the frags from there as well because they still have the weapon advantage in the moment. It's a good decision by Illusion to be able to rotate back and cover that immediately. Up 2-0 quickly, but they did lose those two members. It was just a Spectre and a Sheriff Wheeler, so it wasn't that big of a deal to be able to buy it back up to just a Sheriff for Foon. But they will have to deal with the full buy-up of QR, who so far hasn't had the best of opportunities to be able to hold their ground because Illusion either had the weapon advantage gunning them down or swarmed on the site before QR could fall back. So we haven't seen a good hold from them yet, and we still haven't as Alvarez finds a nice cheeky little quick peek to get the first kill on Manish, and Churro as well.
Ooh.
That toxic screen came out a little bit too late for Town.
This is not a position you want to be in if you're on the Core side. Foon will get the spike down. It's a post plant again here for Illusion. They've been dangerous in these situations before. We saw it just on stream yesterday, and they made it through the round of 16 for a good dang reason. They're looking to repeat, at least their reign of terror. Thus far, they're in a good position to do so. It will be another retake here for Core, but they have to find, yet again, an opening pick. There is one. Dens dropped. Their doppelganger of Critical will remove him, but it does not seem like Core are wanting to push this. The spike's still down. No advanced positioning gain whatsoever from Core, and as that Sage Wall drops and the Viper Wall takes its place, that's the round. There's no real reason at this point for Core to push it. They haven't before, and they will not now. The spike will indeed go off. Foon's looking to take a rifle, maybe even two away. Question now, does it work out? The answer, No. No, it does not.
Yeah, a little bit of a wild round, I'm gonna be honest. Illusion just won their bonus with 3 members of QR Red saving when the Illusion's winning the bonus. That is incredibly rare to see. Almost always the team going on an anti-bonus will just try to go for it because they realize that the majority of the time they have the weapon advantage, but it's just the execution on site was so quick and effective and efficient that they got it down so fast the members of QR Red had to take so much time to rotate through, had to clear corners, it just took too much time. So Illusion's explosiveness has been very advantageous for them, especially because they get 1 to 2 kills on the way in. And speaking of which, they do it yet again. Talon falls immediately when the round starts, not even 10 seconds in.
Somebody's got to be playing a lottery on how many times Illusion can get an opening pick. Look at the positioning as well from Alvarix up above, looking to find the frag. Will do so for free. No contention, and a second on to Manish. This round looks all but over. A third for Alvarix, looking for a fourth. No information given over by the rest of the team. You said it, comms, not there. Core drop 4 in a row, and Illusion lose just a single player in their fourth.
QR Red looks very not coordinated right now, which is a little bit surprising considering they made it to quarterfinals so far. Like, how do you gotta be like early morning jitters or something, right? Like maybe you need to wake up, get into it. A reminder, this is a team that played deep in the night. They elected to do it in the nighttime instead of waking up early to play the matches like that. So, maybe they just need to get more active on the comms. Maybe take a timeout right now. If I was a coach, be like, hey guys, let's talk about how Alvarez got picked at Boiler, then rotating got picked at Kitchen, and then we're still not looking at Kitchen. Like we get some comms going to Churro. Immediately gets a kill on Town yet again. A Town may need to stop taking those early peaks, perhaps. Who knows? And second member of Fiore comes down, but finally they get picked back, take down Alvarez. But again, the spike is planted in less than 30 seconds of the round, which I feel like has happened almost every single time.
Cavern looking to catch a timing, does. Trippy's just dinked though and makes it out alive, just barely at that. The fragment being thrown in, looking for the frag. Cavern finds yet another, that time a dink, that time the kill. Critical, creating some space there with the Hunter's Fury, but finds no tags nor any kills. The Viper will not be able to be healed up. A good slow orb will force Churro out, and a good flash forces the shots out. Churro, the information's now there as to the Chamber's whereabouts. The shots miss. It's down to just Trippy. He finds one, nothing more. Illusion dropped their first round. Core, better late than never.
The two people I'm looking at a lot for QR Red are Cavern and Critical, the two C's of the team, the two initiators as well, and they're two players very commonly seen at the top of the board for this squad. On top of it all, Critical, the experience before, Cavern just stepping up to the plate, basically. Starly, Talon, and Manish all have their moments as well, of course. Just those are the two that I've seen to be a little bit more on the consistency side and effectiveness as far as the kills count goes, and especially considering you don't have any duelists to be the ones like, look at the duelists, they should be at the top of the scoreboard. Like, those are the two that I'll be looking at more so, based on nature of being initiators, things like that as well. Cavern especially, since Critical on Silver naturally will be a little bit late to the fight. KO being a little bit more the forefront, I would expect to be the one who helps drag this team through on Icebox if they have their way back into the fight. Starly at least getting the trade back and Manish finding the kill on Trippy as well. So QR Red, for the first time we've seen so far this series, going into round number 6, have the advantage on kills 20 seconds into the round.
Get wrecked. No, they don't. Not anymore. Trippy's res.
It's even Stevens.
Boone gets the res. There's the early prowess paying off. Boone finding those early kills means that resurrection is available much earlier than their doppelgangers, and now there's Snarly just one ult point away, so they can even find a kill, and they'll have the res available as well. Unfortunately, they'd have to go up towards heaven to try and find the res, so I don't think that's going to happen, but I digress. Again, an A hit looking likely, but this time, or is it looking like a fake? Kind of.
A little bit. They have time to work with still to go either site, but definitely appears to be a B site hit is what they look to do. Critical using that recon bolt over to A, not getting any pings, but that was a very defensive recon bolt to be fair. So they don't know if they're still in A lobby or not. It's not in range to hear the footprints either for Town, so they won't know about the spike plant until now that activates. And you see the rotation going underway. Town find the first frag on the Thune. Keeps the player advantage over towards your red. The Viper spits down. Town has their own, but will they be able to get close enough to actually activate it?
I don't know if you want to pop your own
Yeah, you
Viper
might not
Speed
even want
inside of your
to.
opponents, though.
Yeah.
That would put you in an awkward position, really on both sides.
The observers don't want that.
Down to 1 HP, though. Yeah, Den's in a good position. There's one. There's a second playing that X-ray vision, but the VIP is indeed dropped. The swing from Manish drops Dens. A strong frag found across onto Trippy, dropping that Viper's Pit, allowing Core Red to push through and pushing them up onto 2.
No timeout taken by QR Red, but they still are making the adaptations needed. Talon's not getting picked off early in the rounds, playing a little bit more safe and composed, while the rest of the team is falling off the side a little bit more gracefully or working together to at least get trades on those initial engagements as well. Realizing Illusion has a very aggressive playstyle thus far, so now it's all on Illusion to make the adaptations of saying, you know what? They are playing back, they're playing safer, they're playing together a lot more, they're not as isolated for us to swarm on and get early picks, so we may need to go into a little bit more of a default or bait and switch options or other strategies that we may need to employ moving forward. The Tour de Force will be one of the strategies used by, it seems like both teams, unless it's a visual bug on the top side, but either way, Manish activating their own, holding the angle that Dins wants to peek, but has composure not to do so just yet.
Aggression from Manish is something that you've really been looking for, and yes, it is the 2 Tour de Forces. No visual bugs today, says Valorant, at least not for the time being. They messed with us for the login bug yesterday and figured that was enough for the land.
That's not for a weekend.
I appreciate it. We appreciate you, Riot Games. Manish still holding this long angle, playing the timing. Churro has found some timing of their own. The Owl Drone faked from Dens, mainly faking us, not Manish. The sound cue not there for the defensive chamber, but look, the angle's still being held. Churro finds the opener, though. In goes that Owl Drone, and Manish has to back away, dropping their trademark. A good shock dart, dropping Churro down to 75 HP. They're clicked with that recon bolt. Town in a good position to try and aggress over towards the B side, playing around that Sage wall. They start that spike plant. Do they swing on it? Yes, they do. What? It's a kill. It's a double for Town. What is that spray transfer? The snake bite put down, allowing them to try and re-aggress. A second will not land. They will indeed get the spike down. Good positioning from the defensive side, though, will allow them to retake quickly. Dens playing around that far side will bring it right back to even. Good positioning from the Sova to drop that Viper. No more, says the Sova. But they have to find more. Manish will not. It's down to Cavern.
Cavern with the pop flashes. That's Super Duelist moment. Gets both of them flashed. Transfers the spray, but doesn't have enough bullets in the chamber to finish the fight. Dens lives just so narrowly. The classic doesn't come out just in time. So Illusion does win the round, but man, was that close. And also, I think we might have the sweet flick of the day already from what Town just did. Look at that. That is insane. And Cavern almost had it at the end, just didn't quite have the weapon, the bullets in the chamber. Couldn't track the strafe close enough.
Oh, that's nuts. What is that shot? Oh my goodness, somebody write that down for the Mike and Ike sweet play of the day. Tune back in after the grand finals, by the way, to figure out what it actually is. There's still a lot of Valorant to come, so that one may be it. We could have that one topped. We have a minimum of at least 5 more maps, not including this one. So stick around. We have more coming your way. Churro about to get caught with timing. Does die. The Sheriff lands, Snarly heals themselves up and catches the timing onto Foon as well. Foon seems to be generally aware of the position of their counterpart. Needs to get aggressive though. Needs to make sure that Snarly cannot get comfortable. Is back up to 100 HP. A headshot will drop them. But look, Foon's caught a timing of their own. There's the first. They're unaware of Snarly's position, but has to find the kill regardless. The swing, back and forth, one for the other, neither finding each other. Foon drops that Sage Wall, is still unaware of Snarly's position, seems to be aware of it generally, but still does not find the kill. It's a fake towards B, though. It has baited out the rotation as Alvarez gets that control towards the A side. They'll get a res, though. It'll be a 4v3 retake.
Spike planted.
Wow, nobody was watching the doorway at that time. Unlucky for Alvarez. Plant was going down. Both people on the team looking off elsewhere who weren't planting. Trippy now in the 2v4. Pushing ahead, looking to try to find the kill on Manish, but still gets taken down as well. It's all down to just Dens left alone. The one who clutched up the last round, but in 1 versus 4 is hard to say they'll be able to do the same, but 1 down so far. Make that 2, make that 3. Can it be the 4th? This Manish who shut down the 2 before. Can they shut down the 3rd, or will it be Dens closing out the round? And yes, it shall be Dens with a 4K and a 1v4 clutch to keep Illusion in the lead.
What is that clutch from Dens as well? Dissecting the retake is all it takes. 1 versus 1 versus 1. Here's the 4K. There's Dens with the first, the second, and the third as they line up. Both headshots, and the fourth to close it out. Illusion, what is that? 2 straight rounds where it could have been brought back by Core. It just is not. That was a 4v1 from the 3 versus 4, yet still, it does not go Core's way.
Absolutely remarkable clutch situation as Manish. It's time for the next round. It's time to shut them down, keep up the pressure that Manish provided to even put it into a 4v1 situation at the very least. Makes it now a 5v4 for the next round. Critical on Heaven. Finds the frag on the Dens. No clutch this time around. Critical says with the Hunter's Fury to shut down the spike plant attempt. Shuts down the spike wielder as well as Spoon falls. Alvarez on a cheeky position, but the rest of the team is gone. So now it's Alvarez in a 1v5 grand total clutch situation. Can the outshine Dens of the past round? But this time it's against QR Red members who have upgraded weaponry. It's going to be far tougher of a task for Alvarez. Now suppressed to boot.
Not a great position for Alvarez to be in. They'll swing and die. Not even a first kill for the Jet this time around. Dens shall not be outshined as Core pick up their third. Finally starting to bring themselves back into this, but it's still an awkward position for them. They're still down by 3 rounds. It should be a bye for Illusion yet again. Actually, looking at their economy, it won't. It'll be the first time Illusion's really pushed onto a save round thus far here on Icebox. The attacking side for him's looked good thus far. It has to continue to do so.
Yeah, indeed it shall need to do so. You don't want to get to a tied game, especially with the kind of lead that they had to start off this half. What they get with the advantage there is that they have the edge on adaptation timings. They get the rounds to breathe. So it's on them to come out and say, we didn't just have a strong start, we can have a strong finish as well. They did that yesterday, but can they do it again against QR Red? The blades are activated from Alvarez. Tour de Force is not yet available, so this is going to be the driving force for Illusion on this round.
Aggression's the call, and quickly at that Cloudburst popped up towards Heaven. Alvarez getting aggressive. Critical finds a timing, but does not find the kill. Just a little bit of damage, actually a lot of damage, as Asova's down to low HP. Full A control gained. It'll be a full 5 versus 5 retake. A flank set up, the Blade Storm out. It will not find the kill. Not even a little bit of damage. Alvarez still has to aggress here, has to find at least one with the Blade Storm popped. Again, there's that flank, but finds absolutely nothing. Cavern with 1, with a second as well. Looking for the third onto Dens. In goes a 0 point, but poorly timed, will allow Dens to bring it back. The sonar to push Churro back into the far position, will push him far enough out for Critical to drop. It's down to just 2 here on the attacking side. The Shock Dart lineup, is it there? The Hunter's Fury lineup is. There's the first shot, it lands. So does the second, but Manish on 100 HP will be perfectly fine. A good aggression from Critical will put them onto 4, as Core do make it difficult for themselves, but win regardless.
I'm a little surprised that they committed the Hunter's Fury to that situation when there's 4 people alive. In what world do they not have at least one person off the point and be able to come back and get to it after the third shot's sent, and not have one person push over to get the kill just like they just did onto Dens? It's a little bit of a futile attempt there. However, it did effectively do some economical damage, and if they can get a clean sweep here, taking out this operator from Ash's hands, there is a world where they don't allow QR Red to have a perfect buy-up in the next round, maybe, but I don't think that possibility is quite worth it. Churro, though, getting the first frag on town, and makes this a possibility of a round for that could be the outcome. Churro finding Cavern as well, and Manish push ahead. Has a rendezvous option to get out with the operator in hand. Snarly answering back that spike down. We know that's in the middle, but there's a lot of places they can go if we don't get these frags to follow up. Dens does exactly that, though, on the side of Illusion. Is all down to Manish with just the operator in hand, and you're looking at 4 people. They're not going to line up just right for that one to happen. Illusion with a very strong victory, and man, that was a very quick round. Holy crap. As QR Red is forced onto a judge for Manish in the result.
Final round before we flip sides and Illusion go into the disadvantageous side here in Icebox. A good start for them, but they have to win this round to really solidify the finish as well. Core put together 2 different rounds, or 2 different straights of 2-round streaks. and it looked good for them. You'd like a 5th if you're on the core red side, but going down 8-4 is not the worst position for you to be in. Manish looking to get aggressive. The rendezvous is not set up for this, so they will have to get the kill. And they do, dropping their doppelganger. There's the rendezvous placed, and away they will go. Nice opener and a nice retreat gives core a good early man advantage.
That also gave him the tour de force. That gave him the ult. Like, he just sent it. Here we go. Catch him by surprise, close quarters. That's something we've done so far. Got the kill, caught him by surprise effectively on Churro, and now has a operator to work with alongside that judge for this final round of the half.
Again, aggressing in towards A. That's the call. Alvarez getting aggressive up above. The cloud burst to allow them to get even more so. These dens to gain the information. Shock darts are prepped for the default plant, but thus far, not too much aggression towards that general area. Alvarez still in a good position, as is Foon, putting down that Sage Wall. In goes the null command, disallowing any bit of ability nor utility on this attacking side, and away they will go. It seems like B may be the call, especially with the null command drop, trying to make it null and void, but they look to reaggress.
The cut the noise, retech, take, re-exec is the call.
Left.
These members won't be able to see. The spike should get planted at the very least, but the defensive side of things might be a little tough unless they get a pick or two first. And that's one that they got so far. You know where Cavern is. That makes that 2, and this spike plant is looking a lot better suddenly. The tour de force looking even better than that.
Trippy unaware. Oh no, doesn't get the spike down. There's Dens. There's a second. 1 versus 1. Has the time to get the spike down. The aggression from Manish not there in time. Into the 1 versus 1. Spike down. Dens plays a game of ring around the Rosie and looks to bring his pockets full of posies and notably a round win. Manish getting aggressive at the top will land the frag. Manish with the judge and a little bit of tactical crouching to close it all out. Puts core red onto 5 and breaks Illusion as this half ends, and we move on to the second.
That was quite the half for sure. The technical crouch, I don't know if that was actually a serious crouch or if they're like accidentally grabbing the rope, because that spacing is like trying to press forward a fuse, but also grabs the rope in that situation is really awkward. It's one of the reasons people plant there, actually. So definitely amazing round to be seen and amazing half for sure. And I'm definitely looking forward to the second. Going for sure. We're going into a little bit of a halftime break, so we'll see you back in just a moment.
Welcome in and welcome along to the second half of Icebox between Illusion and Core Red. A 7-5 split in the first goes the way of Illusion on their attacking side. They make it the advantageous one. They look to double up as they need 6 to close out map 1 in their favor. It is their map pick. That would be the way they'd like to do so. I'm still time delayed, joined here by Chad Lantis. And Chad, half number 1, an odd finish, really, for both teams.
Yeah, it was a strong start by Illusion, going super aggressive. Fiora had to make the adaptations, but as that happened, Illusion seemed to have a little bit of discoordination once things slowed down towards the end of the half, and it got really scrappy. And at the end of things, it's the Sovas shining up. It was their time to the light, if you will, to come up top of the scoreboard. Ha ha! Had that one in the chamber. There we go. Speaking of chamber, both of them doing very well as well. Manish especially. We'll see what they can do on attack as Trippy gets the first frag.
Second as well, looking for a third, will not get it. Foon looking to do more damage, does the damage, but does not find the kill. Tro uses the headhunter and hunts for a head, finds one as well. Healing orb thrown out by Snarly before they start to plant that spike. It's a 2 versus 3. Illusion favored here in the retake as they have the man advantage, but still need the frags. Churro finds the first. They need to clear Snarly close range. Charlie, no more than the first. The right click lands. And unfortunately for them, nothing more than that. Illusion with the second pistol as well. They've looked good with pistols out.
Yeah, celebration for Illusion for sure, as they've won both pistols, and that's almost guaranteed 4 rounds if you win both pistols, because your anti-eco following is surely going to be in their favor. However, agents like Chamber in the lobby with those headhunters as well, one taps ahead, sheriffs as well as a gun in the game, which maybe nobody actually buys, interestingly enough, for Hero Red. Might just send it with classics. Yeah, back and forth. I feel like sheriffs are good enough of an option that if cheap enough, you don't have to buy armor, just get that one tap, and that could be a complete game changer. Those classic right clicks, we talk about those all the time, but those are pretty much just a close quarter range options. Longer ranges, this map offers those for like medium range especially. The sheriff one tap could be a difference maker that Cure Red needs. Like that.
Spike down. What is this? They're trying to plant far side. It's denied early on, but it still will come through. Churro getting aggressive right into Down, who does get the wall down, doesn't get anything more. They attempted the spike plant. It was unsuccessful in the end. And Illusion condense on the B site. They condense with a W as well, extending that lead to 4 as they continue their reign of terror onto the defensive side.
Yeah, it's a strategy I first saw become popular from Fnatic on Icebox last year in Iceland, where they just go super aggressive aggro with the wall being dropped in the mid just like that and just rush to drop and then plant it, usually on top of Nest on the B site. But one that's been around for a long enough time that players and teams are used to it, and that seems to be the case for Illusion.
Virtually free. Just dropping that wall is a very good aggressive spot. Churro trying their best at jumping. Unsuccessful that time around. Makes it to the first spot, not the second over top the far elevated position. Now has to play close range with this wall. Do they clear the close corner? It seems like they will. Cavern gets the information and gets the kill. A good opener here for Core Red, as they needed that, especially with the weapon disadvantage. Now they have the man advantage. That's a good way to even things out.
That sheriff looks sick. I want that stand. Anyway, Pure Red does have the player advantage. They have a weapon advantage as well. But they don't have the round advantage. They need to win this one out. Right now, they're completely stalled out at B site with a lot of noise being made, and Illusion making even more noise as he finds the headshot onto Town. Trippy getting a frag as well. Illusion looking pretty good so far until the rifles come in for critical Manish. It's one remaining. It's just Foon with just a Spectre in hand and many members of Cure Red to fight through.
But all of them are low, especially with the Spectre out. This is certainly possible. The aggression here from Foon, looking for the first, does not get it. Cavern plays the close off angle and is left on 1 HP. You know, why not? That's a
all you
nice
need.
amount of HP and a nice score line, as we have 6-9 through this one. Core start to bring things back, but this is the round they need to win.
Indeed it is. This is the one that Alvarez is investing heavily into with an operator, just the light armor on top of that. I'm interested in seeing where the Jet goes. Usually now the Chambers are in these compositions, Jets pretty much go over to his A side every time, while the Chamber plays for B, because this rendezvous location going over towards Nest as a fallback location just works out so well that we see it very commonly.
Here.
goodness, Snarly cannot stay alive in this game. I
No.
feel so bad for Snarly. They're not even being given an opportunity to play. And it's not like an ability diff or anything. It's just a combination of Illusion being nuts and Snarly getting caught with timing, time and time again. Time is of the essence. If it wasn't, it really wouldn't be in my name.
Indeed, time to light. It was Town beforehand on the first few rounds of this game, but Town made the adjustments needed. Snarly was actually coming out on top very well for the team at the beginning, but lately has not had quite the same amount of luck on the decision making. But changes has happened before for Pure Red. I imagine they could do the same. But will it be enough to be able to make this comeback happen? Down 6-9. Very nice. Managed clearing out that trademark. There's only one to go, so that's it. With the dual command activated, they still haven't quite flooded onto the site. Talk to screen should be going up. Should be able to allow them on to the B site to get the plant down soon enough. But taking the time is actually working out in Illusion's favor as Alvarez finds the first frag on a Manish.
Dens is in a good position on the long angle. Toxic Screen back up, but the spray from Dens lands regardless. Foon looking to get aggressive through that same screen, but Critical whips out the Uno reverse card and does it himself. The aggression finds him a kill, but has to do more. He's now vulnerable as he's walked straight through that screen. He should fall. He does indeed. Alvarez does twice the damage and finishes him off. Illusion go up to double digits and re-extend their lead to 4 as Core again need a round win and just do not have the weapons to do so.
Yeah, I'm honestly not a fan of popping the no command and just standing there. I think they're going for like trying to bluff it as if they're going to do a bait and switch over and do like that counter strat kind of situation. But Illusion just didn't fall for it. They left 1 or 2 people just kind of lingering towards A just in case, but primarily just like, yeah, they're just going to fake this. We're going to stay here at B. And that's exactly what happened. Ooh, you hear the crowd noises now.
Again. Oh no! Oh yeah, we do have crowd noise. Look at that. Nice audio bit of pushing through. By the way, shout out to our production team. The reason you see all these replays, you see all the camera angles, everything, and you now hear the crowd. This is live from the Fullerton local host. For all of you wondering and maybe looking to go play some games, do it tomorrow. It's a little crowded right now. I don't even think the PCs are available. As the day progresses, they may be.
Yep.
But it's a difficult position to be in. Good flash. Alvarez avoids it properly. Now he's just waiting behind A1. Has to sit here, and the Owl Drone doesn't find them. Now looking to get aggressive around the side. Finds the first. Has to find more, though. And since they're suppressed, cannot pop the tailwind. Apparently does not have to as they find yet another. Town does finish them off, though. A good bit of a snake bite does take them out. But Dens picks up right where they left off. Trippy with a triple. A full house of frags as Trippy finds 3. The Jet finds 2 of their own, and Illusion go up on to 11.
Yeah, fantastic anti-eco overall, only losing 1 along the way. 1 or 2. It's Illusion will now have their Viper's Pit to work with. Trippy gets that on the line for this half and looks to be using that in the middle of A, right in that choke point, which is where we commonly see Vipers do because it covers everything on the A site for the entrance in there. B is a little bit more exposed to that mid access.
Please. Oh, okay. He does get taken out for, I think, the first time early this game. Churro brings it back. You know, why the heck not? Just drops Snarly straight through the toxic screen. Not going to find another, but does do a decent bit of damage. And Rendezvous away. The TP is there for the chamber. And the re-aggression is as well. Taking out their counterpart. Dropping Manish. Good positioning again for the chamber. Avoiding that Hunter's Fury is more than difficult for Dens, but he does it regardless. Town drops through their own orb. An awful position now for Cores. It's a 2 versus 4. They still have to aggress and just take the B site, much less get that spike down.
And this is a big buy-up round for Core. They need to win this one out because if they lose it, they'll be on match point on the bad end of it with bad economy on top of that as well. Spike's even dropped in Spade main 2 versus 4 situation. The only good thing now is that they have 50 seconds to work with. There's a little bit of time to be done, and the 0 point is available again. Recon Bolt shortly, surely. Getting a nice angle on Alvarez, and Miracle on the timing gets the frag on Churro as well. It's a 2 versus 2 on the site, and we still have time to get the spike in.
One enemy remaining.
Swing though, Trippy drops him. Caverns now left in a 1 versus 2, has to swing back onto the spike and will not get there in time. Illusion send themselves onto map point as Dens gets the kill required. Cavern not even able to get to the spike, much less get to plant it down. Core with 6 straight required just to tie us up and send us to OT.
Yeah, critical, leading the chart for sure. I expect them to perform very well here. They're going to need to just dig even deeper, bring up the team. Seem a little bit uncoordinated, seem a little bit behind on the curve versus Illusion. And honestly, on this offensive side of things, despite having a little bit of success, overall it's been incredibly favored towards Illusion on the defensive side. Core just hasn't been able to have a coordinated attack so far, but Cavern with a nice swing and frag onto Alvarez could be the ticket to another round win.
Oh no! Gen's headed back away and dies because of it. Trippy's on 8 HP, even inside of their own Viper's pit. It's not the damage from the Viper's pit, it's just damage they've taken prior. The swing from Foon, unsuccessful. Snarly finds one of their own, and Churro, you're supposed to hit your opponents, not do an outline of them. I know it's California, so art's very
Are you
but not
I've tried
this
that
kind of art.
a lot. I guess it doesn't work, huh? So maybe I should try hitting them now.
No, not as successful in my own opinion. I mean, it hasn't let me win rounds. I've tried it a few times. It usually leads to me dying like it just did for Churro. I don't recommend it.
It looks good. It's very artistic, at least. Style points doesn't help at all. Getting wins.
Not in round count. I don't think so.
I should make an adjustment then. Huh. Anyway, QR Red has many ultimates online. Flawless round needed to keep their economy thriving so they can keep buying out for the rest of this map. No command activated. Maybe a little more aggressive this time. Not that it would matter a whole lot as the Illusion members are completely flooding to the other side of the map. This is a strategy we saw them use yesterday, actually, where they tried this on Haven. Being aggressive on defense, pushing off the backside. Trippy over the anchor holding on the CT area, defensive end. Churro not able to get the frag, unluckily, but the rest of the team should have an angle on this.
Manish, oh my goodness, gets choked right in front of. Alvarez drops their Bladestorm, looking to get aggressive. Manish plays a bit of skeet shooting and hits the shot required, but will not find another. A 3 versus 2 retake now for Illusion, but they have to push in towards this Viper's pit. No longer. Snarly will have it drop right in front of them, and Snarly will drop themselves. Illusion will take map number 1 as Icebox goes the way of the team that picked it, and in a stylish fashion, 13-7 with a 350 round to close it out.